Non-defining relative clauses are an important part of English grammar. They provide extra information about a noun, but this information is not essential for understanding the sentence. Think of them as adding a parenthetical comment. These clauses are like giving bonus details about something already identified. These clauses don't define the noun, they describe it further. This means you can remove the clause and the sentence will still make perfect sense grammatically. They are particularly useful for adding interesting details and enriching your writing. You introduce non-defining relative clauses with relative pronouns like who, whom, whose, which, or where. These pronouns link the clause back to the noun it's describing. Remember, the noun is already clear from the sentence. Mastering these clauses can significantly enhance your ability to write more complex and nuanced sentences, adding depth and clarity to your writing. It is crucial to distinguish between defining and non-defining relative clauses. Defining clauses are essential for understanding who or what is being referred to in a sentence. They restrict the meaning to a specific noun. For example, the book that I borrowed from the library is overdue. Here, the clause that I borrowed from the library defines which specific book is overdue. Removing it would make the sentence unclear. In contrast, non-defining clauses provide additional information without restricting the meaning. Consider this. The library, which is open until 8 p.m., is hosting a book fair. The clause which is open until 8 p.m. gives extra information about the library but doesn't define it. The sentence is clear even without the clause. The key difference lies in whether the information is essential or additional. Defining clauses are essential, while non-defining clauses provide supplementary details. Understanding this distinction is key to using both types of clauses correctly. Let's look at some simple examples to illustrate the usage of non-defining relative clauses. My sister, who lives in Paris, is a chef. Here, who lives in Paris, tells us more about the sister, but it doesn't define her. We already know who the sister is. Another example is the Eiffel Tower, which is located in Paris, is a popular tourist destination. The clause which is located in Paris provides extra information about the Eiffel Tower, a landmark already familiar to most. These examples demonstrate how non-defining clauses add supplementary information without being essential to the sentence's core meaning. They enrich the sentence by providing additional details. Remember, you can remove the non-defining clause and the sentence will still be grammatically correct and convey its main point. This is a key characteristic of non-defining relative clauses. Section 4, Punctuation, the key to clarity. Punctuation is crucial when using non-defining relative clauses. It signals to the reader that the information within the clause is additional and can be omitted without changing the sentence's core meaning. Always use commas to enclose non-defining relative clauses. Place a comma before the relative pronoun like who, whom, whose, which, or where, and another comma at the end of the clause. For example, the concert, which was held in the park, was a huge success. The commas around which was held in the park clearly mark it as a non-defining clause. This punctuation is essential for avoiding confusion and ensuring your writing is clear and easy to understand. Incorrect punctuation can lead to misunderstandings, so make sure to use commas appropriately. Mastering the punctuation rules is essential for using non-defining relative clauses effectively. Section 5. Common mistakes and how to avoid them. One common mistake is omitting the commas that enclose a non-defining relative clause. This can make the sentence grammatically incorrect and change its meaning entirely. Another error is using that instead of which in a non-defining clause. That is typically used in defining clauses, while which is more common in non-defining ones. For instance, saying the dog that I saw in the park was barking implies a specific dog. But the dog, which I saw in the park, was barking, suggests additional information about a dog already identified. To avoid these mistakes, remember the commas and the distinction between that and which. Careful proofreading can help you catch and correct these errors. By understanding these common pitfalls, you can ensure that your writing is accurate and reflects your intended meaning clearly. Section 6. Tips for mastering non-defining relative clauses. To master non-defining relative clauses, practice identifying them in written texts. Pay attention to the punctuation and the relative pronouns used. Try constructing your own sentences using these clauses, focusing on adding extra information about a noun. Experiment with different relative pronouns and observe how they change the sentence's flow and emphasis. You can also try reading your sentences aloud to check if the non-defining clauses sound natural and contribute to the overall meaning. Regular practice and a conscious effort to incorporate these clauses into your writing will help you become more comfortable and proficient in their usage. The more you use them, the more natural they will become in your writing. Section 7. Conclusion. Mastering non-defining relative clauses. Mastering non-defining relative clauses can significantly enhance your writing by enabling you to construct more sophisticated and informative sentences. These clauses are valuable tools for providing additional details and enriching your writing style. Remember to use commas correctly to enclose these clauses and distinguish them from defining clauses. By understanding the distinctions, punctuation rules, and common mistakes, you can confidently incorporate non-defining relative clauses into your writing. Regular practice and a focus on clarity will help you master these clauses, adding depth and nuance to your writing. With consistent effort, you can become proficient in using non-defining relative clauses effectively and elevate the quality of your written communication.